please ping me if you have any clarification. And for those who have already registered, right? Good that now you have a weekend. Whenever you get a time, you can set up your laptop with basic things, whatever I've told already, right? Just you need your own laptop where you can install the Java. It could be a latest Java or Java 8. You can download it from the Oracle site. Okay. And then Eclipse, you can skip it for now, not mandatory one, don't complicate it. You can download the Tomcat, or you can download the Tomcat from my drive. Okay, if you go to the, I'll share the drive right away after the call for whoever registered. Okay, so that you can go to the drive, and then if you look for Tomcat, if you see here, there's a Tomcat new.zip. Okay, so in the Tomcat, where is it? Yeah, it is here. Tomcat-new.t.zip. Download this and then extract it. Like a zip file, you just extract it. Once you extract it, it will look like this. Okay, you have this all this folder. Okay, then go to the web apps. Okay, and then go to the drive, and then in the drive you will have the war file, e-library.war file. In the, probably can go to the response time analysis folder. In the response time analysis folder, you will find e-library. Lot of war files are there. You can pick any of these war files and then download it, and then copy this web apps folder. Okay, and just that you rename that to the e-library.war, whatever name it is there in the this drive. Don't worry about it. Download it and then rename it. Okay, and make sure that it is EL, both are in caps. Okay, EL library.war. Okay, and then go back to the Tomcat folder, go to the bin. Okay, in the bin, go and start it. Okay, just double click this startup batch file. Okay, only thing is, before doing that, make sure that go to your command. Only dependencies you should have a Java. Okay, go to the command prompt, and then try Java-version. Okay, you will find Java 1.8 or whatever you have installed. That is fine. Only thing, Java should be there, right? And whatever Tomcat version I have given, it should work with the latest as well. It should not be a problem. Okay, so just make sure that your Java is there. Otherwise, your Tomcat will not start. Okay, so once you start the Tomcat, you will get this window like this, a jar, a Java icon here in your taskbar, and then you will see that your server is started. Okay, somewhere you will get this. Your app is deployed, and then server is started kind of message you'll get it. Okay, so once that is done, you can go to the browser. Okay, and then type localhost 8083/e-library. Okay, and then you'll get it, and then ID and password will be admin@jtp.com. You can refer to this video as well in parallel to follow this. Okay, admin123, admin123. Okay, then it will log in. And if in case if you want to change the port, see, when you start the Tomcat, sometimes the Tomcat will not start, and in this window, right, you will see a message saying your IP is already busy, or it is binded to some other service or process. Say 8083 has been unknowingly or knowingly, it has been used by other application in your mission. You can go and change that as well. For that, if in case you get that error, okay, you can go to the Tomcat folder and then go to the configuration conf file, open the server.xml. In the server.xml, just search for 8083, okay, and then you can change it to 8084 or 8085, whichever you want, and then save it and then restart your server again. Okay, you close this window, you close this, and then go and do the startup.bat again. Okay, if it works, then you don't need to do anything. Okay, so for you to set up your mission, have your Java, download the Tomcat, validate whether Java is there in your mission, and then download the war file and copy it here, start the Tomcat, and then you will be able to access the application. So which means your environment is now set for you to start doing the engineering work, what we are going to do it from the next week. Okay, so that alone, at least whoever has registered, that alone, please follow it. Okay, fine. And okay, two more things. What I will we are going to cover that in detail anyway in the later session. But again, just for your additional information, right? There are two things what we will configure it from a performance perspective. Okay, I talked about heap. I talked about threads as well in the other class, right? So you have a mission in which you might have, say, 4-core CPU and then say 8 gig RAM. That's your mission's configuration. And in that mission, you're going to run your application in Tomcat, and that application you have to configure how much memory you're going to allocate to that application alone. Out of this 8 GB, what is that you're going to allocate? And how many threads you need for your application, right? When I say threads, it's kind of a handler, right? It is kind of a task handler through which it's going to handle multiple requests that is going to come from your browser. You might have 100 logins, 200 logins, 1,000 concurrent users. All these requests coming from your browser is going to be handled by the threads, right? So more threads you have it, more concurrency. But you cannot just go and give infinite threads, right? 1,000, 2,000 threads, you cannot give it, because every thread is going to occupy, every thread to execute, right? It needs CPU. Without CPU, nothing can happen, right? It needs somebody to process it. You need CPU to process it. For every thread, there is going to be a CPU, which means your threads, number of threads is going to be limited by your CPU power also. You might have 2-core CPU, you might have 4-core CPU, you might have 8-core CPU. So according to the CPU configuration, you might hit your limitation at some point of time. It might be 200 threads or 300 threads. It depends upon your how fast your thread is going to complete a particular task. A particular task can be a login, it can be a search. If a login search going to take 5 seconds, 10 seconds, then you cannot have multiple things to happen at a time, right? So there are multiple factors that is going to govern it, but you have to configure those threads and heap in the your server as well. And how we are going to decide your heap, how we are going to decide the threads, how part we are going to cover it in detail in the upcoming session. Just from the today's more still it is more of a extended demo, right? It is a day one, but since we're not everybody has registered and joined, I'm still trying to cover the concepts and basics. Okay, so two things you need to configure. One is the heap, another is a thread. Okay, even I mean, while you set up the Tomcat tomorrow, just try doing this. And you can also, I'll show you, we'll probably use a JConsole or JVisual VM tool through which you can actually see what is happening. Okay, let me go to first thread. Okay, for the thread, again you have to open the server.xml. Okay, here under this section, right, you can go and say how many minimum threads you want. I can say I need 5 threads, and I will say maximum as 8. Okay, and then I will save it. Okay, once you this is the configuration that you're going to give you to your JVM, saying when you start the JVM, give me minimum 5 threads and maximum it can go to 8. But ideally, for your performance environment or production environment, you will decide after your benchmarking, your tuning, you will decide, okay, per JVM I can give 300 threads or a 500 threads. Minimum it will come to 150 or 250 for sure. Okay, but that number to arrive, there is a benchmarking exercise you have to do it, which we are going to discuss that later. Assuming that now for our learning, for our understanding, I'm just giving 5 and 8. Okay, just save it and then go and shut down your server and then start your server. Let it start. Meanwhile, I'm going to open another tool, which is again it's there in your drive. Okay, which is your visual VM. Okay, the visual VM is also, if you go to the drive, you will find it. If you come down somewhere, I would have given the visual VM zip as well. Probably monitoring. You can download the monitoring.zip, or under the, or let me upload it one more time. Okay, this visual VM also you can download it from the internet, or you can download it from my drive. Okay, so then just open this. There's no installation required, just an exe file. Just double click it, the visual VM will open. Okay, and then go to the application. Okay, and then it should show your Tomcat. No, there is some problem with the visual VM. We got it. Just me once again. I'll just again start this, and I'll also. Hey, I think somebody is on. Let me unmute them. Yeah, thanks. Okay. I'll parallelly open the J console as well. So if you go to your Java folder under the bin, you will find the J console. Okay. So open it. Oh, okay, I think the app itself is not, it got stuck. This Tomcat window got stuck. That is why it didn't show it the visual VM. Let it get installed. Let the app get deployed. It is still deploying it. Okay, now it says the server startup is in 5627 milliseconds. It says it is started. Right now, if you let's go back to the here, and then it gives this bid, right? Just select this. Okay. Okay. Now go to the threads. Okay. Let me go to the visual VM as well now, and now we should show the Tomcat. You can use both the tools. Both are going to be going to work in a similar fashion. Okay. Let me close this and come back. See, in the J visual VM is some more advanced way of looking at visually better your analysis. So, but we'll try to use the visual VM and J console both parallelly, so that both are open source. J console is absolutely open. J Visual VM used to be open source. Now, after Java went, two commercial versions, two versions available, right? One is your open source version, and they also have a commercial version to it. So this J Visual VM, I think latestly they have moved it as a part of the commercial. So you might still get it downloaded. You can download it, but it might or might not be there in your version. Okay. If not, you can still use the J console. So I'll just go to the where is it? See, okay. Now if you go to the applications, so the Tomcat is getting listed here. Open it. Okay, and then you go to the threads. Okay, close this, and then check the HTTP NIO executor. If you see here, right, there is 8083 HTTP NIO 8083 executor. Okay, -exec. That is our app servers thread. Okay, so it will have the HTTP NIO 8083 followed by exec. Okay, and if you remember in the configuration file, let me go to the our configuration here. If you see it, I've given as 5 as minimum. Earlier it was 4, I have changed it to 5, and you see all the 5 are available here. Okay, and again this thread, right, you will not use this tool to monitor your threads. That is totally different. Okay, when you do a load testing or any kind of performance testing to monitor the your thread utilization, there is totally different thing which we will monitor. Okay, we will not go and look into this kind of a view to see okay how many threads are available, and if you see in the right hand side there's an orange color, and if you see in the bottom right there are running, sleeping, waiting, park, monitor. If I go and start a test, right, let me go and start a very small test with 3 users. Okay, now once I start the test, right, what will happen is your application thread will get assigned with the task, and your you will see that few of the threads will now move to orange to green, and then green to gray to probably waiting. So lot of threads will get assigned with certain task, and you will see the thread states going from one to another. Okay, the test started. Yeah, it has started. Okay, now if you see executor 1 2 3, it is going to green, and then gray, green, um, light green, gray. So if you see there are multiple colors, right, what it means is it is going to a different states of thread. You will not live monitor these thread states like this, because it's going to be impossible. They are going to have 100 200 threads running in a machine in a JVM. There is no way you will be able to just look into it, seeing okay now it is active, now it is sleeping, now it is waiting. No way will do it. This is just for our learning. There are different minimum threads that you are going to assign. Now let me go and stop the test and then increase the users from 3 to, say, I'll increase from 3 to 10. Okay, and then let's see what happens. This is just for learning our concept. I'm using that visualization of threads and thread states. Okay. Okay. Now if you see, there are again only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threads. Now 6, 7, 8. So max 8 is what I've given it in the year, right? So it will give me up to 8. Since the load is coming uh, heavily, it cannot able to handle it with 5 threads. So it is looking into the configuration and it gave me 3 more threads. Okay, so any point of time it will guarantee you 5 threads. If there is a more load, then it will bring down your increase your threads from 5 to 8. Now if you see, I'm going to go and stop the test, right? After a few seconds or a few minutes, it will again bring back, kill randomly any of those 3 threads. We'll just wait for that to happen. Server will know, okay, my threads are busy or it is in idle. Accordingly, it will pull down those or terminate those 3 threads. Okay, just we'll wait for a few seconds and then we'll find that it is going out. Okay, it is still not gone away. It is still there. It will do it after a few seconds. 3 of threads will get terminated. Let's wait for that. Yeah, I think 1, 3, 8 has now moved out. 1, 3, 8 has moved out now, and you will have only 5 threads. So that is how the threads are going to get created and terminated. Okay, now let me just quickly show you the various states of the thread, right? A thread gets created. That can happen 2 ways. One, when your JVM starts, all your minimum threads are going to get started, and then while running, JVM is running, if more threads are required, it is going to new threads are going to create it. So the first state is the thread is a newly created one, yeah, state of new, and then once it is created, it is going to be in a runnable state, which means it is ready to take up the task. Okay, it is runnable, can be also a parking state. If you see here now, right, it is all in the parking state, all in orange, parking. Okay, it is waiting to take up the task. So runnable is nothing but it is idle or parking state, and then from there it can go to running. Running means it is actively doing a work. Okay, the load is coming and the thread is assigned with the task and it is running. Okay, and from running it can go to a waiting state also. Waiting state is nothing but it can be a it can be a sleep. If within the application, if the application is going to have a thread dot sleep, or if your application is having a thread problem, there's something called monitor state or thread blocking, right? Your threads can block by other threads. That is also will go into a waiting state. So your waiting is nothing but it could be a sleeping, it could be a blocked state, and then from running it can go to terminated also. The way we saw those 3 threads, right, got terminated. Okay, so it's new, runnable or parking, running, waiting, and then terminated. Now within waiting, it can be monitor state or blocked state, or it can be a sleeping state also. Okay, so these are the various states of the thread. we'll deep dive into this when we go into a thread topic. Okay. Okay, fine. So another thing from a configuration perspective, right? So we'll get into these the threads and I'll explain you the concepts of thread, and then common thread problems, thread contentions, um, and then the synchronization problems, uh, the blocked state, how to identify the blocked state, how to take the thread dump, how to analyze the thread dumps. All these things are something we'll be looking into it in detail. Just when I was talking about the configuration, I wanted to just let you know about the things that are behind the configuration and the thread states. Okay, and apart from the configuration of thread, you will also configure your memory. I said, right, two things you will configure when you start your JVM. One is your threads, second is going to be a heap. For the heap, you can go to the bin folder and then go to the catalan.bat file, edit it, right click and edit it. Okay, here there will be an option called Java options. Okay, so currently if you see, if I go to the monitor, okay, and if I see the memory, right, so if you see here, there is a 300 MB of heap, and then that is the heap size, and used heap is somewhere, right? So 300 is the one which we have configured here, minimum of 300 and then maximum is 500. Okay, now if I want to change it, right, there are many reasons why we change it, but if you go to say I need just 250, okay, as minimum, and then 400 as maximum, it is similar to heap, similar to thread. When it starts, right, it will give you only 250 MB, and then as your load increases, if 250 is not sufficient, then it will go and give you the up to 400 MB, something called XMS and XMX. Okay, those are the tuning flags, the heap configuration flag for your min and max memory. Okay, now I'll save this and then go and start my uh, Tomcat again. Okay, so it is now started. I think it's still starting. I have too many things running in my machine, so it is little slow. So while you do it, make sure that you don't have a lot of Chrome browsers or other things open. Okay, so it says it has exceeded 60,000 milliseconds. and it's still starting. Okay, it will start, but it will take some time. Let it start. Yeah, now it is started. Okay, I think the test is actually I didn't stop it. No, it is stopped. Okay, fine. So now I'll go and select this process. Open this. Yeah, sometime this JVisual VM you have to close it and then come back and then open it again to show you the um, new application which you started after opening the Visual VM. Okay, so you will find that now the the minimum heap will be 250 MB, and probably we'll try to run a test and then see how it is going to increase the memory from 250 to 400, similar to the way your additional threads are invoked. I can see the 250 MB probably here as well. Let me see the memory if you go here, right? Uh, if you see here, committed is 247,552, which is nothing but 250 MB. When you say committed, right, your JVM is committing you 250 MB at the beginning. Okay, and maximum is 400 MB. That is your configuration, whatever you gave it in the configuration file. Okay, so if you let's wait till this comes up. Yeah, it is not there. Go to the monitor. Okay. Now if you see here, 250 MB is the maximum, right? And now if I go to run a test, see 250 won't be exactly 250 because there's a math goes behind it. Your JVM will convert that into bytes and then into MB. So when you see it in the tool, it might be plus or minus 5 MB because that correction is because of the uh, uh, some kind of a calculation that goes behind when converting bytes into MB. So don't worry about it. It is going to be closer to that 250 MB, whatever you assign it. Okay, I'm going to start a test. If you see here, it will go up and down. Maybe at some point of time, if the memory is not sufficient, it might go and request more memory from your server up to 400 MB. Okay, up to whatever MB we have configured in the property file, up to 400 MB can go. Apart from that, it will get crashed out. It will show you out of memory errors, and then it will your JVM will get crash. Okay, those concept about out of memory crashing, memory leaks, and all, we'll anyway going to look into detail next week. It is slowly increasing. Maybe the memory is good enough for the your Jesus whatever you configure. So maybe it is not going to request for more MBs because it is almost flat, right? It is going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. So you might not need more memory. It may stay like this, or no, it is actually increasing. So you might see a increase in memory at some point of time. Now it is still 260 MB. You will see that at some point of time it will go up to. If you see here, right now, your committed memory or heap size went to 300. From 250, it went to 300. So if you go and see, look into the J console as well. If you see here, it went up to 300 MB. Your committed would have been increased. Committed went to 283 from 250, right? So the tools might give you plus or minus 510 MB of difference, but from a concept perspective, the more load it gets to the system, depending upon the memory consumption, your heap will increase from min to max. Now, if I go and now if you see after some point of right, this will not be sufficient maybe. So it might still go and increase your memory from 300 to 350, then to 400. Till 400, it can go up to 400. Okay, so probably we'll just look into one more increase, and then probably we will stop the test. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, guys, put it in the chat. All these are concepts. We will go to deep dive in these in the upcoming sessions. Okay. If you have any questions on the topics of the upcoming sessions, or if you have any questions on the registrations or payment, please put it in the chat, or in the you can unmute and ask questions. Okay, so I think it is not. Maybe after there might be a GC garbage collection that would have run. You saw a lot of memory got reclaimed at this point of time, right? So all these concepts anything about GC and all, we're going to look into detail. Okay, I'll stop it here. There's one question in the chat. Is there any notes provided? Okay, so there are a lot of artifacts for this session whenever we are going to look into each topics, right? Whatever artifacts we are going to create, that will be uploaded to the drive. And there's a engineering handbook as well that will be given by Isha, that will be sent to, once you are registered, you will get those handbook as well. Okay, so the things which you will get is the recorded video, and whatever artifacts which we are creating, say client-side report, or heap dump report, or memory leak report, responsive analysis report, all these things it will be there in the drive. Additionally, there's a handbook which will be given by the Isha as well. For each concept, can we get the real-time scenario? Yeah, most of the time, I think that is how the sessions will be. When we talk about thread contentions, or heap dump, or memory leak, or thread dump, so we will try to explain that uh, in real time, how it is going to be handled, and we're also going to have these problem also created, right? It is not just a theoretical, right? We are going to see a memory leak, we are going to see a thread contention, we're going to have a problem with the thread dumps. So we'll create a problem, and then we will see how to um, observe it, how to identify it, and the root cause as well.
So you said visual VM cannot be accessed in many of the applications, but JConsole, whoever installing the Java in their machine, they can access, right? There's no restriction.
Yeah, JVisual VM 100%, you will get it in the Java folder. JVisual VM also, there is no hard and fast tool. Earlier it used to be part of the JDK itself. Even now you can go and download it. Nobody's going to stop it. I think officially they said, Oracle said, your this JVisual VM is going to be part of their commercial edition. So, but you can still go and download it. If you go and search for JVisual VM, you can get downloaded. You will be able to download it. But yes, JConsole, you will get it for sure.
I have a question. Every day session we record and save somewhere so that we can actually access it in the future.
Sorry if I heard that correctly. You're asking about the recorded session, right?
Yeah, this session which you're recording, will be placed somewhere in the drive or something so that we can later refer to it.
Yeah, it will be there in YouTube. It will get auto uploaded there, and you will be able to see it probably by next day morning around 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. You'll get it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Guys, I'll stop it here. We'll continue next week. I think Monday we'll have due to Diwali will not have a session on Monday. So we'll be having a session on Tuesday IST same time. Meanwhile, as I said, please install these things in your machine in the weekend when you get time. People who haven't registered, if you have any questions on the topics, just ping me in the group, or if you have any questions on the payment, you can reach out to Kumar sir or any of the WhatsApp admins. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yes, Satish, one more question. So we will be given the access to the drive, right after the session?
Yeah, I'll give it by tonight. Whoever registered,
Okay.
I think I have the email ID. I will give the access to the drive.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.